Next function we have is count function. As the name suggests, count function counts the number of rows we have in a specified column that contains non-blank values. That means count function skips the blank values, right? And the syntax is count, and inside the count function we pass a column. So column is the parameter here, and this column is the column that contains the values that we are going to count. It returns the count as the whole number, and it allows column to this function as the only argument, and this function contains the rows that contains numbers, dates, and string values. Now going back to Power BI, and we will see, yeah, as I'll show you my table here. We have date columns as order date and ship date. We have string columns as some other columns like city, state, customer ID, or the product ID, right? And we have numeric columns as sales amount, quantity, profit. So we will be like using the count function for all of these three types. So firstly, I have this blood table, the DAX related or the calculation specific table here. I'll be creating one measure for counting the product IDs we have, right? So here, number of product IDs sold, right? So here directly I'm using count function, and once I type the count function here, it shows the syntax and the definition of it. So here I have to use product ID as a column, right? And if I just execute it, and let's say I just pass this in the card, number of product IDs, so that is 99994. One thing to mention here, if you have noticed here, is it does not uh, rectify the unique values. That means it contains duplicate values also. It counts the duplicate values, right? So if I just go back to my table view and check for product ID in my orders table, this is my product ID. So you will see there are total number of forces 9994, and we have 1862 distinct values. That means it is counting the total number of records of the product ID. It is counting the total number of values in the product ID. That means the total number of rows, right? Irrespective of unique values. Now, if I just try to create one more measure for, let's say, order IDs. So, order IDs, number of order IDs that contains the date values, right? So here let's say count order ID, this one. So we have used one extra character here, irrelevant one, that's why it is giving error, right? Now it is fixed. If I just show that particular value inside my card, number of order IDs, right? So this is also displaying me the same result. Now if I go with the sales amount, right? So we don't have any blank values over here inside, neither in product ID or neither in order IDs. So if I try to check, I believe there are no blank values inside our data. That's why it is not considering that discount quantity. Okay. Now we will be just checking for our numeric column, that is we can consider sales amount here. How many sales amount we have, number of sales amounts we have, right? So here I can use count function and sales amount. And here I'll be using one card for this sales amount, right? The same result. So, if you are observing what's going on into these values of the count function results, few points you need to consider here is true false values or the boolean values are not supported. Blank values are skipped here. That means blank values will not be considered. When count function finds number of rows to count, it returns blank. That means if we have no rows to find out, that means there are no values or the no rows, only the headers we have, then it will result in blank value, right? And if already we have some kind of blanks inside our data, then that particular blank value will be skipped. It is not supported for use in direct query mode when used in calculated columns or the RLS rules. So this is the functionality of count function. And one thing more, count function does not replicate, or the count function contains duplicate values also. It does not rectify that, right? So this is all about count function.